Hello and welcome to another video of exercises that I do weekly for simple and effective muscle growth and muscle maintenance. Today we're doing a lower body workout, so we're working the quads, hamstrings, and glutes.
We'll get started by setting up our workout space. You'll need a chair, a ball such as this, or even a rolled up towel, and then a moderately heavy weight. And we'll start by standing up for our warm-up. Begin to breathe into the diaphragm, so big belly breaths expanding 360 degrees through the rib cage. I like to put my hands on my belly to connect with my body as we begin our movement. And then we'll start to dig the ball of our foot into the ground. Just circle out the ankles going one direction and the other. And then bend and flex at the knee joint. So bend and extend, warming up the quads and the hamstrings. And then switch legs, warming up the ankle, circling both directions, and then flexing and extending at the knee joint. All we really need is movement around the joints of the muscles that we are going to be working. Nothing too crazy. Hinge at the hip, so send the glutes back and then reposition upright. So shift the hips back and extend. Soft bend in the knees here. Back is flat. And then go ahead and tap the ankles inwards. So external rotation of the hips, knees going out. And then switch ankles out, knees in for internal rotation of the hip joints. All right, let's get started with our first round of glutes, beginning with our left glutes, doing body weight step-ups. So stepping your left foot on the chair and then just tapping the right toe down. You can either tap it on the ground or drive that knee forward. If you feel like you would like to add some weight, then holding a weight in that left hand and stabilizing the right hand on a steady surface, such as this wall. If your grip strength prohibits you from holding on to the weight, then you can put it on your shoulder like I'm doing here. But either way, really sending the weight into that left heel. Trying not to put too much weight into that right foot. I'm going to lower that weight as I finish these last couple reps. We're not counting reps. We're going to muscle failure. So if you feel like you are done, then you can rest and wait for the next exercise. Or if you feel like you have more reps, then by all means, keep going. All right, heading into our quads, ball wall sits. So pressing our back against the ball or our rolled up towel, maybe even a pillow, and we will start off by just breathing. So walking the feet forwards, finding a bend in the knees, and just finding those 360 degrees belly breaths here. If you'd like to add a little more load to those quads, then try pulsing. So inhale and then exhale, push up just an inch or two. Exhale, push up, inhale, lower, really pressing the feet into the floor as that sends the load into the quads. And just like before, keep going to get to muscle failure. We'll turn that chair around for our second round of glutes, this time for our right side. So again, body weight or weighted step-ups here. 2 hinging motions here. One is at the knee and one is at the hips. That really sends the load into that right glute. Option to drive the knee forward. Option to hold on to the wall next to you. Not every exercise is a balance exercise. So really utilize your stable surfaces to send all the energy into the working muscle. Keep going until you get to that point of muscle failure or just before. You got this. It is really essential that we are challenging the muscle enough to stimulate that muscle growth and even muscle maintenance, especially as we age. Always exhale on the push. Inhale to lower, exhale to push. Next exercise, first round of hamstrings. We will lie on our back and place our calves, like part of our calves and our heels on the chair, finding about a 90-degree angle of the knee joints. Lying on our back, we push our heels into the seat so that we start to feel our hamstrings light up. Same thing here. We are just starting by breathing, big belly breaths to coordinate or to integrate the pelvic floor and the core into all of our movements. You can't tell in this video, but my hips are slightly lifted above the floor. Same thing with the quads. If you feel like you want a little more movement, then exhale, lift your hips an inch or two, inhale to lower. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Still keeping in mind the hamstrings as we dig our heels and calves into the chair. This is a chair hamstring curl. It's going to load the hamstrings much more than something like a deadlift. All right, heading into our second set of glutes for our left side. We'll be doing side-lying lateral raises for our glutes. So lying on our right side, you can either lie on your forearm or all the way down, prop your head up. Exhale to lift that leg up. Inhale to lower. And if you have a weight, placing it about midway through your thigh on that outside. Exhale to lift. Inhale to lower. Now the range of motion is not huge here. That's okay. We're still getting that load into the glute while using the floor as our stability. Same thing here. We're going just about to the point of muscle failure. And then heading into our second round of quad work. We'll stay kneeling for this exercise. So press your shins and the tops of your feet into the floor. Knees are about shoulder to hip width distance apart. Reverse Nordic curl or matrix move. So inhale, hinging back in one long line. Exhale, pressing forward. Inhale, hinging back. Exhale, pressing forward. If you'd like a little more load, then placing your weight at hip level or again on your shoulders if you prefer. Exhale, pressing up. Now, if you don't have a huge range of motion to start, that is perfectly fine. The knees will adjust as long as there's no pain. If there is pain in your knees, then go back to our first quad movement, which was ball wall sits. The load is going to our quads because we are using our shins as the lever. This move is often mistaken for being a core or hip flexor move, and while it integrates them a little bit, it is primarily quad strength. All right, heading into our right glute exercise, second round. Lying either, again, on our forearm or all the way down, propping your head up. Placing the weight midway through the outer thigh. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. This is our last round for our glutes. If you want to continue and do a third or fourth set, you're welcome to pick either of the exercises we chose for glutes, so either side lying leg lifts or those body weight or weighted step-ups. Remember to continue incorporating the breath and envisioning all the load going into that muscle to stimulate it for muscle growth. We will head into our second round for our hamstrings. This time, instead of doing chair hamstring curls, we'll do kneeling curls by holding on to the weight with our feet or ankles. So exhale, squeezing those heels to the glutes. Inhale, lowering that weight back down. You can either prop up yourself up on your hands or your forearms. Exhale to squeeze, inhale to lower. Do not underestimate this exercise. Of course, if you have a hamstring machine handy, maybe you're at the gym, then a lying one or seated one will work great for isolating the hamstrings and building that hamstring strength and muscle. Again, exhale to squeeze. Always exhale on that contraction. Inhale to lower. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale, extend. We want to be just above the kneecaps here. Sometimes this move can be a little uncomfortable. Maybe you place a cushion underneath your knees if that feels better. All right, and that concludes our workout for today. So we'll start to cool down by lying on our backs and just doing some easy leg extension and flexion of those knee joints. Just get some movement back into the hamstrings. And in case you're wondering, yes, 2 sets of an exercise is enough for muscle growth and muscle maintenance, as long as you're going to the point of muscle failure. Of course, if you have more time and energy, then you're welcome to do another set or 2. And just easily windshield wipe your knees side to side. And then when you're done, feel free to lie all the way down. We'll just let everything go, calming the nervous system, slowing down the heart rate and the breath. Feel free to pause the video and stay here a little bit longer. Otherwise, you can get up slowly on your own time and just thank yourself for the work you put in and knowledge that hopefully you took away from this video. Thank you so much. See you next time.